I've been a little obsessed with Lady from Devil May Cry lately, and I want to ramble about her. So I decided, why not make a YouTube video, because no one else is going to listen to me ramble about Lady from Devil May Cry. Lady is a popular supporting character as well as boss fight in the Devil May Cry series, with her first appearance being in Devil May Cry 3 as a supporting character and again as a boss fight. Lady is a truly tragic character, like almost all of the Devil May Cry characters are. She is shown to have a very rough and tough personality on the outside, but is really someone who is just a child on the inside. She has a deep hatred for demons, and Dante is no exception. She shoots at him without any regard. But one thing that's interesting is that her hatred for demon doesn't come out of anywhere. It's not because one of her loved ones were killed by a demon, which again would be valid, but don't get me wrong. But it's the fact that y'all might want to hear some background information for this, so let's get to it. Lady was born to two parents, her father Arkham and her mother Callie Ann. It is heavily implied that her dad was never really in her life, and she considered her mother her only family. Well, while her father was not in her life, he was studying the dark arts and demon history, and he found out about legendary demon Sparta. Devil May Cry fans, you know who Sparta is, and if you're not a Devil May Cry fan, why did you click on a video about Lady from Devil May Cry? Anyways, he also found out about the power that Sparta holds, whatever. And he wanted that power. He wanted to become like Sparta. He wanted to become a god even. So to become a god, he performed a ritual where he needed the blood of a high priestess. This high priestess was a direct descendant or a direct ancestor to Lady and her mother. He killed Lady's mother to get her blood, and the worst part is the ritual didn't even go through. He ended up killing his own wife for nothing. He did not become a god, but instead he became a half demon, kind of, where he was able to turn from jester to human back into jester type demon. And there it was. Lady, at her childlike age, lost everything that was important to her. She lost her mother, who was her only family, the only person who has ever loved her. And it was by her own father. Her own father killed her mother. Can you imagine that? And right there, she denounced the name Mary and left. If you didn't know, Lady's name was originally Mary. Most likely reference to the Virgin Mary, because, you know, Devil May Cry loves its religious concepts because it's a story about devils. Anyways, that's where her hatred of demons comes from. So let's jump into her intro in Devil May Cry 3. We're first introduced to Lady in Devil May Cry 3 in Mission 3. Kind of ironic. She's shown on a motorbike burning through a whole bunch of demons before driving away. We see her once again on her bike interacting with Dante for the first time. She just starts shooting at him. He tries to make some slight remarks, but she ignores it. And again, shoots at him. Fools around, acting his Dante way, and flies kind of on her missile that she shoots with her rocket launcher. It really shows the contradictions between these two characters in just a few brief moments, with both of them having a troubled family life, with obviously Lady losing her mother to the hands of her father, and Dante losing his mother and his father, I think, his father dipped. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's alive. But it shows that two people can come from extremely similar family lives and just experience things so differently and come out so differently. And we're going to see this contrast continued as we continue with Lady in Devil May Cry 3. We don't see her until a few missions later in Mission 6, where she gets into a battle with a whole bunch of demons climbing the Temeniguru. Excuse my pronunciation on that. She fights them off with amazing skill, which is such a great way to see Lady's action in action. Lady's combat in action. It really shows how powerful she is, especially at this young age. It is presumed that she's a teenager due to her childlike appearance, her short, shaggy hair, as well as the school uniform-esque outfit that she has on. Obviously, this is no school uniform. They're not going to have you wear tactical gear in school, but, you know, that's what it's truly trying to emulate. She also has a lack of training. She looks very badass. She fits in most of the Devil May Cry. It's just a stylish style of fighting. Once the mission card is done, we see Lady meet up with her dear papa, and they get into a kind of fight. She shoots at him many times, many times, without any regard. We have to remember that guns need to be reloaded, and she shoots without a care in the world. She just shoots hoping to hit him. He throws her off of a cliff, and she continues to shoot at him. And as she's falling and technically shooting, one of the hottest scenes in video game history plays, where Dante catches Lady with one shoe, and they look at each other's eyes. You guys, I am so... Oh my goodness. When is a Dante gonna come into my life and catch me when I'm falling? That's all I really need. Shoots at him many times to try to get him to let go, but Dante is super fast and agile. He even catches a bullet with his teeth, which I had to look up because the graphics in PS2 were not the greatest, but that doesn't matter. Before you crucify me, I am aware the graphics were very good for 2000 something standards, but we're in 2024 right now. She notices that none of the shots are killing him, and the fact that he catches it with his teeth makes her believe you're a demon, because no human would be able to do that. And that blow causes him to let go, but it doesn't kill him. She catches herself with the Kalia ant at the side of the building, and we don't see her until 2 missions later in mission 8. We see her again after the Leviathan barely misses her. She gets ready to kill it, but it starts to move, and Dante comes out of the eye, bloodied, gross, smelling like blood. And as Dante moves on to the next stage, Lady tries to stop him, but they are ambushed by demons, and it starts to show their fighting skills together. And this is kind of where I started shipping them, because good lord, look at their coordination, look at their compatibility. Look at them fighting back to back is very cute. But it also shows an important moment where Dante asks Lady her name, and Lady says she doesn't have one, and Dante's like, what am I supposed to call you? Lady says she can call him whatever she wants, and he just says whatever Lady. And that's the first instance where Lady decides to pick up her new name, Lady. Count how many times I said Lady in that. Dante does eventually leave her, blowing her a kiss as she finally fights off the demons. Once she's done fending off the demons, she meets again with Dante in a hallway where she sees Dante above Arkham, her father's dead body. She is completely destroyed by this. She asks Dante if she killed him, and Dante, being a little snarky and cocky, he says, so what if I did? And that sends her into a rampage. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. That sends her absolutely ballistic. She should have been the one to kill her father, and she starts shooting at Dante, again with no regard. Dante, with his experience, his olderness, dodges all the attacks swiftly. And she keeps shooting. She should have been the one to kill Arkham. She should have been the one to avenge her father with her own hands, which is a pretty childlike way of thinking. I get the need for revenge, but it comes to a certain point where it's like, your dad is dead. The job is done. You need to go. It does show the childlike nature that she has, because she's so heavy on the fact that she wants to be the one to kill her. Again, she's not thinking. She's not thinking at all. As Dante dodges all of her attacks, she does confess all of her sins and all of her father's sins. She confesses that her father killed his wife to become a demon. She killed his wife to become the devil. She killed his wife, and that it is her father. She confesses that it is her father that's lying before him, and she confesses why she needs him to die. After her confession to Dante, she says she doesn't care anymore. And again, what is more childlike than that? To have an extreme outburst. She's having an outburst with guns, so it's not exactly like a child. But to have an extreme outburst and then to just decide, I'm done with this, I don't want to deal with this anymore, and to just leave. And that's what he does. Dante leaves. But as Lady's watching her father's dead body on the ground, he starts to move and twitch. And he looks up and says, Mary, is that you, my child? And it is. Lady looks down at her father, and her father confesses that he was possessed by a demon. He was possessed by a demon, and that is why he killed her mother. He was possessed by a demon, and that's why he wanted the power. That's why he committed all of his sins. He says that the demon was Virgil, son of Sparta, and that now Lady has to kill him. Arkham dies, and Lady decides she has to go set out to kill Virgil, to not only avenge her mother, but now to avenge her father, who also died in her arms. It was her father's dying wish. The next time we see Lady is in the middle of the Sparta twins, yearly fight. Dude, these guys fight every single game. They fight twice every single game. I don't know if they get tired. Trust, I fight with my sister, but anyways. She indulges into the fight. She just joins the fight without any regard. She could easily hurt herself because remember, these are two half demons fighting. She is still just a human, but she doesn't care. She would take her own life to avenge her father. But just as she joins the fight, the jester that Dante has been fighting the entire game shows up, and he reveals his plan and who he really is. The jester is Lady's dad, Arkham, dressed up as a clown. He has been pulling the entire game like a marionette. He tricked everyone. He needs certain elements to complete the spell, and the elements are the 2 elements of Sparta, as well as the blood of the High Priestess. The 2 elements of Sparta belong to the 2 twins of Sparta. The blood of the priestess, Lady is a descendant of the priestess. The jester, Arkham, knocks out the twins and stabs his daughter. And she's bleeding out. When I tell you this stab is gnarly, it is gnarly. But she's filled with adrenaline and she doesn't care. She shoots at her dad. I'm so sorry. Did you expect her not to? Her father killed her mother, lied to her, and is trying to kill her now. Left her for dead. So he can raise hell? And she shoots at him. Sadly, she is obviously weak because there's a huge gash in her leg. And he leaves. The spell goes on. The spell starts to work, and it knocks all 3 of them off of the platform. All 3, meaning Dante, Virgil, and Lady. Can you imagine your dad not just betraying you once, but twice? As well as stabbing you? At such a young age as well. She's a fighter, but even in the fight with Virgil and Dante, we can see how truly weak she was. Compared to them, she can't handle what's going on. She can't handle everything that's happening to her. And now her dad has basically become the devil. All of her fears have come true. All of her worst fears have come true. We're slowly getting to the climax of Lady's story, so let's raise hell as we come to the end.
Just sit and wait. Wait for the birth of a new god. I shall take over the power of Sparta!
Lady takes so much guilt for not being able to kill her father. She feels responsible for hell being raised and the world soon turning into chaos. And it's similar to a child. If you've ever seen a child who breaks a pencil, and the pencil is probably already halfway broken, and the second they put it down, it breaks, they take it as their own fault. They believe that they are responsible for the pencil breaking, and then they believe that they're responsible for everything else because everything's crashing down on them from that one pencil breaking. Soon they're responsible for the desk squeaking, and then they're responsible for the crayon box falling, and just whatever else is going on in the classroom. When something small that you feel like your fault, it's not Lady's fault is what I'm basically trying to say. Lady is the victim in this situation, and even Dante tells her that what she's thinking is stupid. Dante tells her in her own way that it truly isn't her fault, but she doesn't care. She takes off to the top of the tower to kill her father. She doesn't understand. And she's acting like a little child. It's like when you have someone who grows up without a proper parental figure or a proper home life. They never really had the chance to grow up and grow better. They never got the chance to grow safely. So they never got the chance to learn what it's like to be an adult. And that's what Lady is right now. She's sad. She never got the chance to grow up. She never got the love and nurturing that a child should. And she has never got the chance to grow up safely. I'm repeating myself, but what else other is there to say? Now, for the personal best part of the game, Lady's confession. Dante and Lady meet up again in the library, and she's very overwhelmed. She's just like when she was when we first met her. She's actively regressing. She starts shooting at Dante, and they get into a fight about who gets to kill Arkham, with Lady confessing that her main driving force is her hatred for her father. Which, I don't know if you know this, but hate is not a very good emotion. And it's not a very good emotion to just drive on and tap into. It's kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know, Zuko was very childish throughout the beginning of the series. And his firebending power came from hate. And as he got less hate in his heart, as he was less angry, his power weakened. This is what's happening with Lady. And Dante knows this all too well. So he tells her, no, no, Lady doesn't care that it will kill her to kill him. She just needs to kill him. And Dante, who is older and smarter, knows that she's being stupid and says that he will go kill her. He will take care of it. Lady knows that he has to die. Arkham has to die in her hands. So the two get into a boss fight with the Lady's boss fight. After you beat Lady, one of the hottest video game cutscenes in video game history plays. Just watch.
I'll take care of him.
If you know me, if you follow me on any other social media, you know I'm absolutely obsessed with this scene. Dante shares that because of how deeply she feels for, the death of her father, how deeply she feels towards this mission, it's not now just a regular mission for him. It's really important for him as well. He's not just one of those demons are vile missions. And Lady finally realizes that not only is this a family matter for her, but it's a family matter, or everyone's going to be affected. It's not really a family matter if hell on earth, And Lady's been having that perspective the entire game, that this is just a family issue. She needs to kill her dad because her dad killed her mom, blah, 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 blah. And it's, again, like a child. I work in childcare, and if you know children, they aren't very emotionally mature yet. I could have a child crying because they just lost their tooth and everything's going wrong in that child's life, and another child will be tapping me on the shoulder, be like, Miss Omizi, look at the drawing I made. They're not really aware that there are other things in life that may not impact them. They are just in their own spatial headspace. And Dante allowed Lady to open her eyes. Dante allowed Lady to feel safe again. Dante gave Lady the love that she hasn't gotten since her mother. And whether you interpret it as romantic or platonic, it's still so important that Lady gets that love again and that Lady gets to feel safe again. Now that she feels a little more weak, a little more susceptible, she gives Dante her prized weapon and lets Dante go kill Arkham, her father, which has been her mission her entire game. As he leaves, she breaks down crying. She finally gets the chance to be vulnerable and weak. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Her mom is dead, her dad tried to kill her, and the hottest man on earth didn't kiss her. I'd be crying too. But she doesn't even say, Dante, go kill my father. She says, Dante, go free him. And I think this is kind of beautiful, as well as kind of sad. If you've ever seen a child in an abusive situation, even if you see adults in abusive situations with their parents or in abusive relationships, You see them tend to want to see the good in people. And Lady still sees the good in her dad, which is why she was so easy to believe him back when he tried to manipulate her into killing Virgil. She's emotionally vulnerable. She's emotionally childlike. You know, I just feel bad for Lady, and I'm so happy she gets a chance to be vulnerable. We're really, really getting to the climax of Lady's story. So, you know, mission 19. Dante and Virgil finally finished defeating Super Chaos Arkham. I know it's not a Sonic game, but I have to introduce Sonic into something, please! And they go after their own amulets. Lady gets a chance to see her dad after this. He just fell down from hell. He's weak. And if this was Lady 10 missions ago, she would have fallen for his tricks. She would have fallen for everything her father sang to her. But Dante finally showed her the sense of safety that she hasn't felt in so long. Even the name that she continually goes by, Dante gave it to her. She's taken it on. She feels so safe with him being Dante. So, as Arkham is begging for forgiveness, Lady kills him.
Goodbye,
It is
Father.
so sad, yet so powerful. And she cries. It is truly a dark and gruesome scene. Lady shoots until she can't shoot anymore, and she steps back in fear of herself. And I feel bad. I want to hold her so much. I really feel bad for her, but I'm so happy that she's able to be free of everything that her dad has put her through. She's still a child at the end of the day, we have to remember, which is why she, you know, falls back, which is why she's scared of herself. But even an adult would be scared of themselves. Is she still even a child by the end of the game? Does she still act like a child by the end of the game? Who knows? We're at the end of Devil May Cry 3.
What an ordeal. You're still here.
I need that back.
No late charges, I hope?
I'll think about it.
We should be fine for now. But I'm sure they'll be back soon. Very soon.
Are you crying?
It's only the rain.
The rain already stopped.
Devils never cry.
I see. Maybe somewhere out there, even a devil may cry when he loses a loved one. Don't you think?
Maybe.
By the way, looks like we're gonna be busy for a while.
Well, bring it on. I love this. This is what I live for! I'm absolutely crazy about it!
I just realized you guys can see the K-pop posters. These are not mine. I'm not a K-pop fan. No hate to K-pop, but I don't do that K-popping thing. This is my sister's side of the room, so just ignore that. But anyway, Lady's story in Devil May Cry is over, and this is basically the end of Lady's character development. She's mostly relegated to a side character, even though in the next game she's playable. So I should end the video here, right? But I can't. The tisms is flowing through me, you guys. You don't understand. I was panicking today. I was like, because I love Lady so much. So Devil May Cry. I will never sing again. I promise I will never sing again. Ah!
show me. Let's play. Though a fight every now and then does make life more interesting. Don't you think?
Now I know. This hand was made for sending guys like you back to hell!
Return it to me, and I'll let you go.
Try this!
What did I tell you before? Now you're you. And it's who I want to be with. I don't know anyone else who's as human as you are.
From that day forth, my arm changed, and a voice echoed. Power. Give me more power. Devil May Cry.
The time has come, and so have I. The best is fly. Okay, before we do actually get into Devil May Cry 4, there's a little bit of exposition I need to tell you. In the Devil May Cry anime, that we learned that Lady is now a solo devil hunter, and she makes a big bank of cash. And Dante owes her a big bank of cash. Dante's in a lot of debt to Lady. That's kind of important. She also meets Trish. She becomes friends with Trish. The both of them have high class and like high taste in clothing. So, you know, they do their regular girly things, shopping for high class things, and that's really it. She doesn't have much character development in the anime, and I also haven't watched the anime. The anime is as old as me, by the way. Netflix is coming out with the new Devil May Cry anime, so that's the anime I'm going to watch. But Devil May Cry 4, let's get into her story from there. While Lady does have a much lesser role in the story of this game, she is the reason why Dante's mission starts. Lady is the one to tell Dante and Trish about the Order of the Sword, a church of people who worship Sparta, Dante's father, like a god. They have been taking demon arms and demons left and right, so she's a little mad because she's taking away her jobs. She's also grown a lot, we've seen. Devil May Cry 3 does take place a few years in the future. She's not only grown in body, but she's also grown personality-wise. In Devil May Cry 3, she wasn't joking as much, but she's joking a lot more. She's still a little bit more serious than Dante, but it's nice to see how much she's grown and how much she's matured. She's grown even better than Dante, her master. I like to think she's learned a few things from Dante from Devil May Cry 3 because he is a more experienced fighter than her. We also learned that she has an interest in religion now, which is quite cool. As her mom died due to religion, as well as her father went mad due to religion, you would think that she would be kind of away from it, but she's a lot more interested in it. And as a personal headcanon myself, I do like to assume that she's into religion because she doesn't want anything like what happened with her father to happen again. Remember, her dad wanted to become a god, and the people of the Order of the Sword don't really want to become a god, but they kind of love Sparta a little too much. So I like to think that she's just keeping an eye on the Order of the Sword to make sure nothing that happened to her will happen to anyone else again. But anyway, Lady meets up with Trish to fight some demons outside of Devil May Cry, and they go on their merry way. Once Dante and Trish do their thing, Lady pays them. Not a lot, but it's okay. And she tries to go on her merry way. But Devil May Cry gets a phone call about a new mission, and she tags along. And let me just say, I love this trio so much. After the mission is over, we see Nero have his kiss, and Lady talks about how cute she thinks it is, while Trish and Dante kind of go away. Which is, first off, so me. Oh my goodness, I love romance. I love to think that Lady's a romance fan like this. Also, Trish shares how she thinks that Dante can't get any women. And as Trish says that, Lady and Dante are the ones in frame. And I would like to think that this is kind of a hint as to Lady and Dante being kind of canon. And it shows that they're in love. This is actually me telling y'all this. I'm literally Capcom. Lady and Dante are in love. They are deeply in love. And that's why it was them in the scene when anyways, that's the end of Devil May Cry 4. I don't know what to tell you. The Devil May Cry 4 is the only time that we really get to play as Lady, not including Peak of Combat, but I'm not going to be talking about Peak of Combat back. It's kind of bittersweet that she has such a minor role in the game, and I'm going to be 100% honest, it gets a lot worse in Devil May Cry 5, so I don't know. Roll clip.
They're demons! I've seen them with my own eyes! Red Grave is completely taken over!
Let us pray for mercy. This is a trial from the heavens above.
Hey, honey. Need assistance?
Hey, you have to hit every single bump in the road? Gonna ruin my crew! Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes?
Yeah, he's a real pro at smacking demons around. That's why I built him that well-functioning arm. To kick demon ass.
What? No chit-chat or monologue? Just getting right to the point, huh?
My brilliant badass work is worth every dime, you know it. Cash first.
Get back inside now! I've got a score to settle with that son of a bitch.
Devil May Cry.
Lady shows up a lot less in Devil May Cry 5. If you think she barely showed up in Devil May Cry 4, good lord, are you gonna be sad. But we see her, and she is in her mid-40s. I don't think y'all realize how old Lady is. She's around 50 years old. Looking like that. Anyways, we first see Lady in basically the intro to the game. Not really the intro, but her and Trish are on a mission to fight Your Reason. Trish and Lady have a joking race to see who can fight him first. And as she gets older, I'm once again so happy to see that she's able to joke more. She is smiling all throughout the intro of her, she's smiling all throughout what we get to see of her. Does that grammatically make sense? It doesn't matter. She gets to joke more. She gets to play more. I love to see her happy. Because Devil May Cry 3 Lady would never. But by the time Dante gets there, we see that she cannot beat him. Your Reason is way too strong. Both women are thrown to the ground. Dante says that they are the most badass women he knows, and that he's surprised that they beat them. Your Reason does say that he is taking them, and they're going to serve to give him strength. The true Devil May Cry 5 story starts, and we don't see Lady until Mission 3, where Nero defeats Artemis, and we see her naked body fall out of Artemis. I was playing this with my dad. You don't understand. I was shocked. I was appalled. Devil May Cry does have some lewd stuff, don't get me wrong. Look at that scene in Devil May Cry 4. But that was wow. As she regains consciousness in Nico's van, she confesses that she lost her prize weapon after the fight with Your Reason, and she also lost Trish. While teenage Lady would have been heartbroken to lose her prize weapon, 50-ish year old Lady is pretty calm. Also, newcomer to the series, V is here. And she's quite suspicious of V, but she doesn't show it. When V says, "I'm glad to see you're looking so well," she responds pretty kindly, even though she doesn't know him. She doesn't know him. Showing how much she has grown in about 40 years. And we do see later on that her untrust of V does come from the fact that V left Dante and Trish and her right before Your Reason. And I feel like, that's pretty valid. You don't leave people. We don't see Lady again until Mission 13. 10 missions later, you guys. I'm getting no Lady content in Devil May Cry 5. She doesn't really do anything. Towards the end of the game, Lady confesses to Nero that he cannot kill her own father, as it's something you'll never forget. You'll never forgive yourself for doing something like that. It shows that Lady never truly forgave herself for killing her father. Even though she's a lot more happy and smiley, you killed your own dad with your own bare hands. You don't really let go of that. And I believe that's one of the most important things that we learned out of Lady's character. As all these years go by, she still feels guilty for killing her dad, even though she was valid for killing her dad. She feels so guilty. And it's also such an important line for Nero, because she helped Nero to not kill her dad, his dad, but instead go on and stop the two sons of Sparta for killing themselves. While Lady was truly relegated to fan service, not only fandom fan service, but as well as sexual fan service, that one line may have been one of the most important lines in the entire game. I'm going to say it a million times until my tongue runs out. Lady from Devil May Cry is a truly tragic character, but she's also a truly lovely character, and she is really a fan favorite from the Devil May Cry series. She's one of the only main recurring characters, and I love her to death. I don't know how to end this video from here. Thank you for watching. I do really appreciate it. Check out the links in my bio to find my other content. And that's it. Badass Dante time, I guess.